With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
How did we get to America? On ships, right? So did everybody on the earth go into slavery on ships? Who went into slavery on ships, brother? That's right.
Crazy.
For yourself, know perfectly that the day of the Lord is coming as a thief in the night. What? As a thief in the night.
Thief in the night.
Right.
The Lord is gonna come as a thief in the night, man. Nobody knows when the Lord is gonna come back. Right. Nobody knows.
This the book of wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. For wisdom is more moving than any motion.
Right, the wisdom of the Lord, man, right, and the wisdom of life is more moving than any emotion, man, right? And that's what the Lord has given us to speak to our people, man, right? And that thing is gonna move you more than anything, man, right? It's gonna move you more than damn weed, right? It's gonna move you more than that damn Hennessy bottle, right? It's gonna sit there and move you more than damn Keisha, Letitia, right? And all these damn heathenistic women, man. Right.
Oh, you're going crazy.
Love, not sleep.
What the Lord say?
Love, not sleep.
Don't stay in the bed all day.
Love, not sleep.
Sleep spiritually.
Love, not sleep.
Read.
Lest thou come to poverty.
Let's not what?
Lest thou come to poverty.
And guess what? The state of our nation of people are in poverty spiritually, man.
Right.
And physically. Why? Because our people love sleep when the Lord told us not to. Right? Read.
Open thine eyes.
What our people got to do?
Open thine eyes.
Jake got to wake up in the last days, man. He got to wake up in the last days, man. And stop being asleep. You understand? Right? All praise to the Most High. Shalom, King. Doing all right?
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Likewise.
Absolutely.
All praise to Shalom, King. Shalom. All praise to the Most High. You all right?
Sorry, you already know.
All praise, right? Read that one more time.
Love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Open thine eyes,
Right?
and thou shalt be satisfied.
Are y'all eyes open spiritually?
Yes, ma'am. Why you have to do
Think so?
Ma'am. Huh?
Right? So I said, are y'all eyes open? Right?
Love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Open thine eyes,
Right?
and thou shalt be satisfied with bread.
You see that? And our people not satisfied because our people choose to remain asleep.
Right.
People love slumber.
Right.
People love to be lazy spiritually, man.
Right.
Right? Our people love to be nice and cozy with the pillow over their head spiritually, man. Right? You come in and you come in a room and cut the lights on and they put the cover over their head, man. Right? That's how our people like to be, man. You try to tell them about who they are, they say, la, I don't want to hear that, man. I'm trying to get drunk. I don't want to hear that, I'm trying to go party. I don't want to hear that, man. I'm lighting my blunt. Right? That's the equivalent to our people doing that spiritually, man. Read. That was it on that.
Sirach chapter 40, verse 6.
Bring it out.
A little or nothing is his rest, and afterward he is in his sleep.
He is what?
And afterward he is in his sleep,
Read.
as in the day of keeping watch.
Keeping what?
Keeping watch.
Read.
Troubled in his fit, troubled in the vision of his heart. A little or nothing in his rest, and afterward he is in his sleep, as in the day of keeping watch, troubled in the vision of his heart, as if he were escaped out of a battle.
You see that, man? And that's how our people is going. Right, and that's what's gonna happen to our people, man, if they remain asleep, man. Right? What's your nationality? Oh, okay. What's your nationality? What that mean?
Kenya.
Kenya, what's your nationality?
She said he's gonna do my DNA to figure it out.
You said what?
She said he's gonna take my DNA to figure it out.
Now, what's your father? What's your nationality? When you go in, when you go and fill a job application, now what you put that there?
I work for myself. So,
Have you ever had a job filled out a job application?
I have.
Right, and what you put on it?
I can't remember. It was so long ago.
All right, if you did, what would you put on? Are you African American, sister? According to society?
You're not African American, no.
No, I'm saying according to society.
Society, I told you, what I tell you. When you ask me about African American, what I tell you, I'm not African American. I don't know what I am, but I know I'm not African American.
Right. I know. Okay, all praises. I'm asking you, according to society.
I don't care what society thinks.
The only reason I'm asking that, sister, is because you see this right here?
Yeah.
Right? What you see on it? Right, 12 tribes of Israel, you understand? And we able to identify who these people are because we can't just go off of looks. Right? So we ask people what their nationality is based off of society because we link them up with the chart. So if you tell me, oh, I'm Haitian, then you would be an Israelite from the tribe of Levi. If you tell me you're Jamaican, you would be an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. And likewise with all the other ones, right? If you would be so-called African American according to society or Negro descent, you would be Israelite from the tribe of Judah. That's the only reason I'm asking.
What about right? You really can't say that because I don't know exactly where my character is from, so I can't just assume because of other people.
No. That's why I asked you.
I know. I said I don't know.
Okay, so cool. That's cool. That's okay. That's the curses. You understand? Let me show you real quick.
I know I'm not black. I know I'm not African American.
We not either.
That much.
All praise. That's a good start. That's beautiful. That's why we out here. That's literally why we out here.
Black is a color. I'm not a color.
Exactly. You're not, right? Black is the color of your shirt. And you're not that. You understand? African American is the last name of two so-called white people. Leos, Scipios, Africanus, and Amerigo Vespucci. Right?
I know all that bullshit.
Exactly. So we gotta go back to the source. Even the but listen,
I know what I'm doing.
check this out though. Even a DNA test is not gonna tell you who you are in the Bible.
Right.
It's gonna give me a start so I know where my man came from.
Listen, but my point is, it wouldn't matter about what society refers to people as or what God refers to people. You believe in God?
What version y'all talking about? You talking about what society believes in God or how I believe?
No. We're not down with this right here. This is what we're not down with. No.
You wasn't white.
Exactly.
Right.
You understand? So we're not talking about that. So do you believe in God?
I do.
Okay, right? You believe in the Bible?
I do. I believe in certain, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? It's all good, right? So the point is, let me show you something that I know, Lord willing, you'll agree to because you believe in history, right? History can be proven. We're not talking about the history that they feed to us, right? We're talking about actual history. So let us show you something, right? You too, right? We'll see. Right? Deuteronomy 28:68.
Bring it on.
Because this one thing is irrefutable, right? Bring this up.
Chapter 28 and verse 68.
Bring that out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
So this is Moses talking to the Israelites, a specific group of people. You understand? So Moses told the Israelites, read.
The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
Right, said into Egypt. That word Egypt goes back to the Hebrew word Mizrayim, which means between two straits, which is an ancient way of saying stuck between a rock and a hard place, aka bondage of slavery. You understand? And mind you, they just left out of slavery in the land of Egypt, right? You ever heard the term, I've been working like a Hebrew slave? That's because they was slaves in the land of Egypt. Right? Read.
Again.
It said again. How did our people get to America? How did our ancestors get over here? Right. Exactly. Slavery on ships. You understand? Watch this. Read. Again. So Moses said that they will go into slavery again. How?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Yeah, with ships. Now, did all nations on the earth go into slavery via slave ships? No, but we did, right? Our ancestors did, right? So doesn't this have to be talking about us? Yeah. Right, because we fulfilled that prophecy. You understand? Right? Read on.
By the way whereof.
Hold on. Did their ancestors go into slavery on ships?
Yeah.
Read.
Wow. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Wasn't we sold to our enemies when we got off those ships? Read.
For bondmen,
slave men,
and bondwomen,
slave women,
and no man shall buy you.
That word buy in the Hebrew means redeemed. Right? And guess what? We haven't been redeemed out of our captivity. We're still in the same land where we was taken captive. You understand? And if you
slaves right now.
Right. You understand? So the
Not with it.
so you
Wrong word.
so you agree with the text, right?
I agree.
Right. So by default, wouldn't that have to mean that we, the Israelites?
Yeah, I heard that.
Right.
Well, I heard that, but I didn't think to say that because I had research.
Right. That's why we're showing these things to you now and proving it to you now. You understand? And obviously, we want you to go and do further in your own research as well. But it's our job to be able to uncover the veil of the people. You understand? So we don't have to go around not knowing who we are or speculating about who we are. You understand? It's good that you don't call yourself black or African American, right? But we don't want you to walk around not knowing who you are either. You understand? So that's our job, right?
They don't want us to know who we are because they know if we know too much, then we're going to be a part of their slavery.
Right, we're going to rise up. Right, our king going to come back, man.
Then they realize that this is our land at the beginning where they stole from us. Most of us is here. That's why I know everybody didn't come up here on slave ship. That's where everybody did. Some of us was already here.
That's true. We don't
so everybody's not all from over the boat. That's why I say I can't. Some people here are more American. They're already here.
I know what you're talking about. I know what
so
you're
they
talking
came
about.
and took. You know what I'm saying? So
I know what
you
you're
can't
talking
just say we all Israelites. Everybody didn't come.
Right. Well, now you can, because even many people that was already here, you got a lot of Israelites up in Africa, because it wasn't just the boats coming from Africa and coming to America, or boats coming from different parts and coming to America. Right. You had, even when you look at the routes, they literally was taking people from America and shipping them back to Africa.
Right.
Portugal, Spain, Europe. You understand? So just because you was already here don't mean you're not an Israelite. You understand?
We don't know.
But we do know. Because either way it go, right, the people that was already here, right, was the Hispanic, chiefly the Hispanics and Native Americans, and you had a remnant of the Southern Kingdom, which is the so-called blacks, Haitians, as well as Jamaicans, you understand, was here as well. We understand that. But we still was getting shipped off to different places, even from America. You understand? And even if they did it, right, like how you have many Native Americans still here in this land, you understand, they still would be signified as Native American or as Israelites. Last one, right? Just a fun fact, right? Because you said if they didn't go, right, we can't just say that. You ever heard of the Los Lunas stone? Right, it's a stone in New Mexico that has Hebrew writings on it. Right, the commandments, the name of the Most High God, etc., etc. Right? Why would it be Hebrew writings in America? Because the people that was already here are Hebrew Israelites. So regardless of if you got shipped on the ship from Africa to here, or if you was already here and remained in the land and your generations remained in this land, you understand, chiefly, right?
So where the Moorish Americans come from?
So look, Moorish Americans are literally just Negroes. That's all it is. The word Moor, just go back to the word Morena. And even when you go into the real definition of it, or real origin story of it, it goes back to when the Muslims was referring to everybody as black, right? And if you was so-called black or Negro or of dark skin, they called you a Moor, right? So that word Moor really don't mean nothing but literally black. If you had dark skin, they called you a Moor, right? Moors didn't even originate over here in America. Moors started off over there in Europe, right? That's when you had the rise of the coat of arms. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but if you go into the coat of arms, right, that's when we had kings and princes reigning in Europe, right, during the Dark Ages. So that's right. So that's all that stuff is talking about, right? So Moors ain't nobody but Negroes.
That's because they feel like they came. Moors feel like they.
Or it's like not just Negroes, like not just Negroes, but Hispanics and Native Americans.
Moors feel like they're the black people that originated here. They feel like they was here and never left. That's how they feel.
But check this out. That don't mean that you know what? For the heck of it, let's say that's true, right? Say it's true. Does that mean they a different ethnicity than us?
They're not saying they're a different ethnicity. They just say they're not white. They just say they're not African American. They say they're not black.
But guess what? Calling yourself a Moor is still wrong too, because you literally call yourself a black American.
Right.
That's literally what the word Moor means.
I know.
It's a Spanish word that goes back to Moreno,
They feel like
which
they
is
are.
brown.
They feel like they're black Americans. They feel like they was from this land.
But so if you from this land, watch this. Watch this. If you from this land, why would you associate or call yourself a black American when this wasn't called America prior to 1492?
Right.
That don't make sense.
Exactly, right. It don't make sense.
That's why they call themselves Moors. And that's why they say, when they say Moorish Americans.
So you calling yourself, so basically when they do that, they call themselves the color of the
When I say, no, they say they not black. They say they Moors.
What do Moor mean?
don't know. That's why I said I don't be knowing. That's why we asked the question.
But I just told you. I just told you.
But they feel like
It
they're the
goes
black.
back.
But they feel like they're the black people that originated here on this land.
Right, there's nothing wrong with that.
Because
All right, if you want to, hold on, real quick.
Here.
If you want to originate from this land, okay, so be it. That don't defeat the fact that you would be or that they would be Israelites at the end of the day.
I got my own research.
Well,
I don't know. That don't got nothing to do with me.
I know you brought up the topic, so we just going through it. That's all. But the point is, sister, you, right, according to prophecy, you understand, as well as according to history, secular history, anything else you want to bring to the table. Even say you do your DNA test, right? Where's Kenya located? East Africa, right? You have many East African countries, you understand, that are that are harboring Israelites.
Right.
And when I say Israelites, I'm talking about so-called blacks. You understand?
So then
Hold on, real quick, let me finish real quick. Right? That's not saying that everybody over there is or would be referred to as an Israelite. That's just saying our people are scattered throughout the face of the earth. We got people in Europe, Asia, China, we're everywhere. We got literal brothers in China doing the work. You understand? So us being from, or my main point was, right, most of the time when particularly our people do ancestry and trace your blood back, more often than not, it always goes back to somewhere in West Africa. Why? Right, even in a minute. Why is that? Because in 70 AD, well, in 70 AD, when we fled from Israel, fleeing from Roman persecution, and when we fled from Israel, we fled into the land of West Africa. That's why even when you look at older maps, they have West Africa being named as the Negro land. Why? Because we fled from Israel and fled into West Africa. That's why when multiple of our people do that ancestry test, it's always some country back over there. Because it can't go far back enough to say, oh, you from Israel.
Right, so basically saying you got African in your blood. Basically saying you got African in your blood, you're from Israel.
Not necessarily if you got African in your blood, because not all Africans are Israelites. You understand? When we using that term African, like
Nigeria is certain parts of
well, a lot of Nigerians a lot of Nigerians are Israelites, right? I think I brought that up before. Over 60% of people in Nigeria actually descend from either the Igbo tribe, right? The Yoruba, but it's Funani, and the Funani tribe, right? So that 60% of Nigeria is made up of those three tribes, which most of them lead back to the children of Israel, right? Even some of them to this day is still keeping a lot of those practices over there. You understand? So, but Nigeria's in West Africa anyways, right? It's in West Africa. So my point is, say you do it, you understand? That's not going to necessarily pinpoint, right, whether or not or who you are. So say you do it and you say, okay, I'm Nigerian, right? Are you going to call yourself Nigerian? Or are you going to call yourself what the Lord calls you? What the Lord calls you? Right, go to 29 and 1. Right?
Book of Deuteronomy.
John 1 and 47.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29 from the top.
Read out.
These are the words of the covenant.
Right, we only read you one curse. We could have read you a lot more, but obviously for the sake of time, right, stick to one. Right, but this 43 curses in the Bible, or not in the Bible, but in this chapter, you understand, Deuteronomy 28, and they fit a specific group of people.
Right.
You understand? That specific group of people, Moses is telling you who he's talking to, read.
And these are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses.
Commanded Moses, read.
To make with the children of Israel.
So Moses told the children of Israel about these curses. And these curses are laid upon a specific nation of people that's on the earth still to this day. Those curses got laid upon the Israelites. Right? And guess what? The Israelites are still living out those curses to this day. And I'm not talking about those people down there. Right? Because they never went into slavery via slave ships.
Right.
As a nation of people. That only happened to our people. So that's one problem. That's one prophecy right off the head that they don't match. Not only that, they not living, you understand, below the nation. They running everything. Right. They own all the banks in Indiana is owned by Jewish men, and really in the world.
Right.
It's owned by the Jewish men. They run the record labels. They run the TV stations. The stuff that you see on the news channel is being conducted and ran and overseen by the Jewish men. If you go to New York, they got their own police force. That don't fit the purpose of what the Lord said will happen to the children of Israel. Right. Because the Lord said the other nations will get high above you. Right? Aren't the other nations high above us? Right. We don't gotta. Nah,
damn near.
Nah, you can't say that.
They come up here and they do be coming around here and they get put above us. They get more money and everything.
You talking ignorant, respectful.
I'm talking about how they stick together. They mind and stuff. They stick together. They still work together. We can't even work together. They might have.
They do. Right? Do some art? Watch this. Watch this.
We can't even stick together.
Watch this. Do some art people got their own clothing stores and brands and they own restaurants and stuff?
Yeah.
Right. Mexicans got that too, right?
Yeah.
So they
stick together.
Hold on, listen. You got to stick together in order to have your family have a restaurant business, right?
Yeah. Come on, they stick together.
Sister, you not listening.
Stick together. We stick together.
That's not my point. My point is the same thing you can say about them is the same thing you can say about us. They don't stick together. You going based off of the small detail of what you see, but you're not looking at the masses. Right? Your survey amount. You understand? Your survey amount is not big enough. Because if it was, you will understand that they got wars going on in Mexico right now against each other.
Right.
Cartel war. Even here, you have been in California. Not even we always bring up California, but even on the West Coast, East Coast. You understand? Those Puerto Ricans be going at it with each other. Texas, it's all over the earth. It's all over the earth. We just so, as far as demographics, we just so worried about our people, as in so-called black, that you don't really venture out and understand what they going through as people, which is the same thing we going through. Not to mention they were in slavery.
They curse too?
They are cursed. It's not about what I feel like. It's about.
What? Are they Israelites?
Yeah, for sure. Right, they would be Israelites from the tribe of Issachar if you're a Mexican, and you can read the rest of the list.
So generally, I'm Jordan, right?
Lord willing. I know. Me personally, I don't know what Kenyans are pertaining to the specific tribe. You understand? Yeah. But there are Kenyans that would be from the stock. You understand? Of Israel. You understand? But that's if it bear witness with the spirit. You understand? So, but a lot of Nigerians as well as other people over there in East Africa and West Africa, you understand, a lot of people don't know, but a lot of them are from the tribe of Ephraim as well. Like a large majority is from the tribe of Ephraim, really. But people just say Judah all the time because, you feel me, they don't really, you know.
You gotta get back on the reservation.
Right, so the point is, you said I gotta get back on the reservation. Y'all gonna stay here till they call y'all here.
We gotta go back in line.
Get back in line. Hey, you look for your phone.
Come on, Ray.
That was a worth it 3 minutes. Right? That was a worth it 3 minutes to learn, you understand? Or hear about something that y'all never heard of before. You understand?
Right.
So, yeah. It's on the brother, did you get a flyer?
Cant.
Hey. Got 2 fishers. So on the flyer, right, it's YouTube channels, Instagram, social media platforms, so on and so forth. You feel me? You can subscribe, right? What you doing? Follow, continue learning about these different things. Because it's more than just knowing that you're an Israelite. You understand? It's way deeper. And why y'all still here? Go to Deuteronomy 28.
There are things to it?
Deuteronomy, chapter 2.
So what we going through?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful question. Watch this. Go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 10.
I don't like problems without
Book of Jeremiah 16.
That's why we out here. Hold on, sorry. Let me get this one first.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you,
right,
and very delicate.
And then at one point in time, we show love towards our people. Read. Right.
His eye, his eye shall be evil towards his brother.
Right, and our people's eyes is evil towards each other. Right? We the only people that kill each other over street signs that don't belong to us. You understand? And colors. Right? Read.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
Right? We the only nation that don't treat their women how they're supposed to be treated. We make music about pimping our women out. Think about it. We make music about whoring them out, how they nothing, so on and so forth. And vice versa, women with the men. Read.
And toward the remnant of his children,
right,
which he shall lead.
Right, said that toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead. Meaning what people know for growing up without fathers in the household is. Right? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand? These things are applied to us as a people, and that's another curse that's upon our people. Right? Go to 64.
In verse 64, and the Lord shall scatter thee.
Shall what?
Shall scatter thee.
That's why anywhere you go on the earth, you're going to see who? Us.
Right.
Among all people.
Right? We scattered amongst all the nations of the earth. We in Africa, we in Asia, we in Europe. You understand? We in China, we in Australia. Right? Got that. I talked about this last year. It's a video, man, on YouTube. A brother went to Alaska. Right? To see. Now he did it trying to be funny, but he tried to see if it was I won't use the word, if it was black people there, so-called black people there, right? And they got whole hoods in Alaska banging on each other, literally in Alaska, gang banging on each other. It's too cold to be doing that.
Right.
But guess what? That's how strong. But guess what? That's how strong the curses are. Our people would kill each other in negative degree weather, man. And slide on each other in cold weather, man. And damn Alaska, right? Yeah, you see that? Sliding on a snowmobile, man.
What?
You get slid on a snowmobile. That's different, right? But read on.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth,
right,
even unto the other.
Read.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
Right now, our people serve their God. Right? So-called white Jesus.
Read Jesus.
Read.
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Right? And our forefathers, they know these different idols, man.
Even wood.
So not just so-called white Jesus. Right? But guess what? In all these different places, the dominant group, right? Our people will be in Buddhism. You understand? Our people will be in one of the biggest religions in Nigeria and many other places in West Africa is Islam. One of the biggest religions, right? That's not for us. So what I'm telling you is, no matter where we at in the world, most of our people are following the religion, the doctrine of philosophy of the ruling class in that area, instead of following and sticking to our heritage that the Most High God gave to us. Right? Read.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood.
Even what?
Even wood.
What's that wood that be in the Christianity churches? Right. Read.
And stone.
What's over there in Mecca? The cobblestone.
Wicked.
Right? And that's what our people, that's what our people cleave unto.
Right.
Read.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
And guess what? We don't have ease amongst these nations. You understand? We gotta go to work. We gotta fend for ourselves, right? You get pulled over. You don't know if it's the last time, right? You gotta watch your back behind these so-called white people because they might snake you.
See that?
Whatever it is, your own people might. We don't have ease amongst these nations, right?
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
Have what?
Have rest.
We don't have rest as a people.
Right.
Getting 8 hours of sleep ain't real rest, man. Right? And I ain't talking about a sleep schedule. We just don't got no rest. We work until you dead. You think about it. They make you work until you damn near getting ready to die. I'm pretty sure the average lifespan in America is like 70. And guess what? You can't retire until you in your 60s. Right? So they make you work your whole life, and then right when you can stop working, you got about 5 to 10 years. Right? We don't get no rest in
Did I tell you that's why I say you gotta quit work?
Right?
Did I tell you to quit work?
Now, keep working, brother. But if you can work for yourself, do that. If you can work for yourself.
I ain't saying come and go be above.
No, hey,
you know what I mean.
Hey, you never know.
You know what I mean.
You never know, right? So, right now you asked a good question, right? You said, what's the solution, right? Bring this up.
Yeah.
What scripture?
Jeremiah.
That was Deuteronomy 28:64 on down. Right now we get ready to answer your question about the solution. Right?
Jeremiah 6.
You said Deuteronomy
28:64 on down. So 64, 65, you stop at 66 right there. Stop at 66. Right?
Deuteronomy 24.
28:64. Right? Yep. Are you with the Bible app up?
No, I can't spell that.
Spell it out.
Trying to take notes.
Oh, you already got it. Okay.
Mighty.
Right, so all praises. Right, so now we get to answer your question about the solution. Right, he eager for the solution.
Jeremiah 16 and verse 10.
Bring it on.
And it shall come to pass when thou shalt shew this people all these words.
All these what?
All these words.
So we showed y'all the repercussions of us based off of the actions that we did towards the Most High God. Not following him, right? Going into slavery on ships, not loving each other like we're supposed to, not having no needs, so on and so forth. Read.
And they shall say unto thee, wherefore have the Lord pronounced all this great evil against us?
Meaning, why we got to go through this? What's the solution? How we get out of it? Right, read.
Or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against the Lord our God?
Right.
Then shalt thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me.
Because what?
Because your fathers
after other gods,
right,
and have served them and have worshipped them.
See, that's so our forefathers, they strayed away from the Most High.
Right.
They didn't keep His commandments like they were supposed to, but instead they went and worshiped other gods. Right? Read on. That's the cause of these things. Right? Read.
And have forsaken me and have not kept my law. And ye have done worse than your fathers.
Read.
For behold, ye walk every one after the imagination of his heart, that they may not hearken unto me.
Read.
Therefore I will cast you out of this land, into a land that ye know not, neither ye nor your fathers, and there shall ye serve other gods day and night, where I will not do you favor.
Right, now Deuteronomy 30.
So niggas been niggas the whole time. Niggas they sleep said, where I'm getting at this, I'm gonna go forward.
Deuteronomy.
Watch this.
Deuteronomy.
As hell. What? They been doing this shit. They been doing this shit.
Chapter 30 in Deuteronomy.
Bring it out.
And it shall come to pass,
Right.
when all these things are come upon thee,
When all these things are come upon thee, read.
the blessing
The blessing, because it's blessings too. But guess what? Are we living out the blessings right now? Not at all. Read.
and the curse,
And that's what we living through right now. The curse. Read.
which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind.
Right, and that's what we doing for y'all. We calling these things to mind. Right, read. Right, read.
Among all the nations,
Are we among the nations? Read.
whither the Lord thy God hath driven thee, and shall return unto the Lord thy God,
Right.
and shall obey his voice.
So it said, when they return, or as we're returning unto the Most High God, right, doing this word, read.
And shall obey his voice, according to all that I commanded thee.
Right,
this
according to
day.
all He commanded us, right, obeying His voice. What does that consist of? Read.
Thou and thy children,
Right.
with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
Read.
That then the Lord thy God,
It said that what?
that then the Lord
thy God,
that
It
then,
said that then. So meaning what? Once we come back to the Most High God, right, and obey His voice and keep His command, don't keep the word that He commanded to us, which is what? The law. It said that then, read.
that then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity.
He'll begin to turn our captivity. And that's literally what you see happening before your eyes. That's why you see the stock market crashing, right? That's why you see prices on everything going up. That's why over there they already have one country in the earth where $55 is equal to $1 American dollar now. Right? So it takes $55 to have $1. right? I think it's called Bing, or I don't know his name, right? We can put it on a video or something, right? So this transformation is already starting to happen. That's why you see more and more homeless so-called white men. That's why you see World War III happening, right? And coming on the rise, right? That's why you see wars and rumors of wars. You see forest fires happening weekly. Every week it's a new forest fire, right? Like about a month ago, the air quality in Indiana and really the whole Midwest and really America was bad. Why? Because you had a major forest fire going on in Canada, and it was blowing over into America, right? That's because the Lord is sending out the fires on the earth. You read about that in the book of Luke chapter 21. It said that the fires shall off be sent out, right? Right? So now all these different things are the hand of the Lord because he's turning the captivity. More and more of our people waking up. Y'all waking up, right? The more of our people wake up, the more this place is going to get what? Turned upside down. And guess what? The roles is going to reverse.
Right.
And then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity,
right,
and have compassion upon thee,
right,
and will return and gather thee.
So like it said, then the Lord will turn then the Lord, right, will have compassion on us, right? I don't know if y'all got kids or not, but if you ever did, right, and your child did something that they weren't supposed to do, right, you would discipline them in some type of way, right? Whether that's a whipping or the corn, whatever, however it is, you're going to discipline them, right? That's what we're going through right now. The Lord is disciplining us. But even in that act of you whooping your child or you disciplining them, exactly, you still have compassion, you still love them. You're just doing it for the betterment of them at the end of the day. Read.
And will return and gather thee from all the nations.
From where?
From all the nations.
Remember, we everywhere throughout the earth. Read.
Whither the Lord thy God hath scattered thee. If any of thine be driven out unto the utmost parts of heaven,
right,
from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. And the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed.
So once we begin to do all these things, you understand, right? And the end motive of it all is the Lord is going to put us back in our homeland. Read. You said where?
Where's that?
All right, that's a good question. That's right. You said Israel, right? That's Galatians.
Yeah, go to Israel. Come on.
Well, you don't want to go there right now because that land polluted.
Right.
Right. You got imposters in that land defiling. Right. Not to mention that land gonna get destroyed. Right?
Weirdo.
Right. They have war with Palestine every 3 days. You got ears to hear. Right. You know.
And now the utmost parts of heaven, from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence he will fetch thee, and the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed.
Right, it said the land which our fathers our fathers didn't possess this land already. Hey, the lot of our inheritance is in the land of Israel. The whole world. The Lord is going to inherit us the entire earth. Right? You read about that. You understand in the book of Psalm chapter 2. Right? So the point is, right, Lord willing, you caught it, but in order, the solution to this problem that we have is to begin to follow the Lord again. And following the Lord is not about what you say with your mouth.
Right.
You understand? Because a bunch of people say they follow the Lord. People say that all the time. Oh, I love God. Or I follow God. But they're not following the words that he told us to follow. You understand? They're not keeping the what? The commandments. Right? That's what's most important. Keeping the commandments while having faith on the Most High God. You understand?
Basically saying they didn't follow 12 commandments a long time ago. They ain't getting away. Don't follow these commandments.
Yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, right? But it's more than 12. Right, but in the nutshell, yeah.
How many was it?
It's 613.
Right, right.
Yeah. But you understand? consists of a lot of different things.
That's the thing. You really don't need the commandments. Not everybody needs that. You really don't need technically, because you really kind of already know what's right and wrong. You gotta be like,
So you said we don't need the commandments?
certain people do. Certain people don't. You know right from wrong, right? You know when you're doing some bullshit.
Do you know right from wrong?
Yeah.
Right?
You know when you're doing something wrong. The morals. The morals.
Do it feel like that wearing that is wrong?
To me, no. So
Right.
that's right.
But to the Most High God, the Lord said that our women had to wear dresses.
Right.
I mean,
You see that? But my whole point is, hold on.
My relationship.
Hold on. Nah, sister, hold on. My point of saying that is we can't just go based off of what we feel.
Right.
Because going based off of what we feel is how we got in this position in the first place.
That's right.
Because you got people that feel like it's okay to be a pervert. They about to make a law to where it's okay to be a pedo. You understand?
They need the Bible.
Right. But look,
We all do.
but my point is, you understand, right?
And then some stuff, you know, back in the day, dresses and stuff, I can understand that back when they wrote the Bible, why they need to wear dresses. It's some things that involve a God, you know
You
what
said
I'm saying?
evolve. What evolve? We're in the Bible that say evolve that you don't got to wear dresses.
The Bible was written a long time ago.
What that
Just saying things back then and things now.
Go to
The
Job
Bible is
8.
not, everything's not word for word. It's supposed to be, I understand what you say, you're supposed to go off what you say, but at that time, things were different. So you're supposed to be like, as a guide.
I promise
Doesn't mean
you.
everything word for
Things
word.
is the same
Do not
thing.
take everything literal in the Bible.
We never said nothing about. We never
When
said.
they say dress, you also interpret it as being covered up. The dress covers you up. That's how
Bring
you
this
want to
up.
interpret it. You know what I'm saying?
Joe.
You go on everything the Bible
Hold on, real
says,
quick.
but word for word. You can't say word for word on one thing and not word for word on the other. Which one? You know what I'm
Is that
saying?
what we doing?
Well, there's a lot of stuff in that Bible. You don't go for word with everything in the Bible.
Why can't
some
you?
stuff, because some stuff will not be literal. Some stuff
Right. You're not saying that everything is literal.
That's what I'm saying.
But wearing a dress is literal.
That's your thing.
No, that's about what the
To me,
Bible
I take it as being
But
covered up
but
in
it's not
mind.
about. It's not about what we. It's not about what I think.
Right.
It's about what the Bible says. And if the Bible say
is not
that,
100% literal.
sister, we
Everything in
understand that the
some
Bible is
things
not
are
100%
Some
literal.
things are examples.
Hold on, sister.
In
Hold
that
on.
time,
Sister,
wearing
just
a
because
dress
you keep
means
talking
covered
and
up.
repeating yourself don't mean that it's gonna change.
What's your opinion?
Right? But it's not my opinion.
Well,
That's what we're trying to get you. Your relationship. What's his name?
Jehovah.
That's not his name.
That's what I call it.
But it's not. What's your name,
Psalms
sister?
83:18.
What's your
Look at Psalms 83:18. What's that thing?
What's your name, sister?
Look up Psalms 83:18.
Go to Psalms 83.
What's your Bible?
What's your name, sister? What's your name, sister? Rachel. If I called you Ebony, would you respond to me?
But
Hold on,
say-
no, answer the question, sister.
No,
please.
we're not.
Right.
But I would put in my book that my name is something else.
First of all,
Psalms 83:18.
this wasn't written in English.
Right.
It was transliterated into English. So you have to understand. That's why earlier, even when we went into the word, hold on, let me finish. That's why even when we went into the word Egypt, I gave you the definition of the word Egypt in Hebrew, not in English. You understand? Because people, when they think about Egypt now, they think about the land over there. But it has an actual meaning to it, a Hebraic meaning. This Bible, you understand, it was transliterated into English. Therefore, if you read Jehovah, hold on, listen. If you read Jehovah, that's not the Lord's name. The letter J wasn't even invented to the 1600s. So it literally can't be Jehovah.
Can't be.
The name, even when you go to Jesus,
pronunciation is different.
listen, sister, let me
They all
hear me
mean the
out.
same thing.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Even when you go into the word Jesus, his name wasn't Jesus. It don't even go, even in the Spanish language, or not in the Spanish language, even when you go through the translations, right? From the Hebrew to the Greek, or to the Greek to English, right? It don't even go back to the word Jesus. It goes back to the word Jesus. That's why when you read the 1611 version Bible, there's no J's in it.
Right, it's a pronunciation.
No, sister, it's not just the pronunciation. The Lord said that he was going to turn to his people a pure language, a pure tongue.
So what's his name?
When you say Yahweh, that's the name of the Most High God. When you want to speak, when you want to pray to your God and know his name, instead of calling him something that's not really his name.
Oh, you understand that?
Right, so
That's why they call him Jehovah. I don't call him God.
You said what?
That's why I call him Jehovah.
But
That's
Jehovah is wrong too.
Get it.
Right? Even in the book of
So what does your Psalms 83:18 say? So you look at the Bible, Psalms 83:18 shows.
Sister, we just broke down why you
I just
can't
asked
just
what
go.
it said in there.
We're about to read it, but I'm telling you, that's why you can't always
And that's why I
go.
say about Bible, because everybody's Bible is different. So you say, you believe in the
Sister.
Bible, they all say different
Sister.
shit. So how do you believe it?
Because we scholars. You understand? We go into the Hebraic language. We go into other languages and be able to decipher these different things.
Right.
I actually got the Hebrew Bible on my phone. In the Hebrew. So these different things, not like brothers can't find these things out and you just always forever be ignorant. You choose to be ignorant and just say, oh well, that's what my Bible say. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I say choose to be ignorant. Ignorant just means don't know, right? But that's why we have to do this different research to find and search these things out. Otherwise, we'll always be down here when we could be much higher than that, right? So bring this up.
The book of Psalms 83 and verse 18.
Bring it on.
That men may know that whose name alone is Yahweh.
Is what?
It's Yahweh.
Whose name is Yahweh. Now read it. Now read it as. Now hold on. Read it as is. Hold on. Read it as is. And somebody go to the.
So a lot of King James versions. A lot of King James versions say
Sister,
Lord.
here the matter.
Can I say
Hold on. I'm about to explain. Be patient. Be patient with me. We translate. Sister, please, sister.
King James version say Lord in it, but don't say Yahweh.
First of all, I don't say Lord and say Jehovah. First of all. Second of all, listen to what I'm getting to say. Go to the blue letter, right, and pull up the word Jehovah and read the translation.
So what's it saying about? So your Bible says
Say Jehovah.
Right.
That's what I was trying to explain to y'all. We
I understand. So you're saying it's real,
right, instead of
form,
right.
not his American name. I'm going to Spanish class, Rachel. I'm going to Spanish class.
Exactly.
That still means Rachel. You know what I'm saying? Mateo means Rachel in Spanish.
Right, bring this up.
Still same name.
Whatever the devil is.
This is the Strong's H3068. Jehovah, self-existent or eternal, the national name of God, the Lord.
Right, so listen.
Are you on Facebook?
Real quick, I'm not, no, but this is on Facebook. Now watch this, read this.
Strong's H3068, Jehovah, right?
Right, and this is it, and this is not even, this is translated into Yiddish. It's not even translated to Jehovah, but it's translated to Yiddish. But even the Yiddish, right, read.
Self-existent,
right?
National name of God, the existing one, the proper name of one true
right, now
God.
see how it said the existent one, or what was the first one?
Self-existent.
Or self-existent. Now when you go into the Hebrew, Yahweh, right, it literally means he exists. You understand? Or he is. Right? That's literally verbatim what it means. Right?
That's right.
When you translate it into that, now they translate it into the Yiddish. Even when he translates to the Yiddish, it's still adding on small things, but it still has the same overall kind of meaning to it. But the point is, you want to go based off of our forefathers and what they spoke and the heavenly language. You understand? Because the heavenly language is the Hebrew tongue. Our forefathers spoke Hebrew until they start beginning to get put into slavery and captivity, speaking these other languages. You understand? So when we talk to the Father, chiefly, and when we address the Father, we want to address him by his Hebrew name. Right. You understand? So when we read the scriptures, you understand, yeah, we see Jehovah, we're going to say Yahweh. Right. We see the word Jesus, we're going to say Yahweh Shah, because there's power in his name. You understand? There's power in the Paleo tongue, man, in the Paleo Hebrew tongue, right? They tell you that in the or in the prologue of Sirach. Right? You going to get that? Yeah. Come.
It's the prologue of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, wherein we may seem to come short of some words which have labored to interpret for the same things uttered in Hebrew.
It said for the same things uttered in Hebrew, read.
And translated into another tongue.
And translated into another tongue. You listen to Sister, read.
Have not the same force in them.
Have what?
Have not the same force in them.
So it's not about, it's just it mean the same thing. No, it don't have the same power.
Right.
You understand? So that's why we call on the name of the Lord. We're not calling him Jehovah. We're not calling him Yeshua. We're not calling him all these other names. We're calling him by what he told us to call him by in the ancient tongue, which is Hebrew, which is Yahweh. Right? And his son's name is Yahweh Shah. Right. You understand? Which just means he who saves or he delivers. Right? Yah meaning he and Hawashai meaning deliverer. You understand? So these different things, we're not just doing it for fun, right? We're doing it because there's power behind it. So when we get on our hands and knees, or whenever brothers doing when they pray, we pray to the Most High God in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, which is Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shah. You understand? There's power behind that. And you got to take pride in that and take back your language. That's a part of your heritage, your language, right? The name of your God, right? You will want to go around being able to know the name of the Lord. Not going around calling them something that's a translation of the white man's language, right? Of your oppressor's language, right? So at the end of the day, you understand, it's about coming back to our God-given nationality and our heritage, right? And I commend y'all for doing this research, man. Continue to do it. You understand? Because y'all got to know these different things, right? And not just look at yourselves like, well, I don't know what I am, right? Because y'all the children of God, man.
Sure.
You understand? And there's power behind knowing that you're the children of God.
That's
and not just nobody. People say they kings and queens all the time, but don't know how. And every time they do, they say, cuz when we was in Egypt, we was kings. And no, we wasn't. You understand? That's a whole nother nation of people. We not Egyptians.
Right.
Right? We Israelites. Right? And we're our homeland, that sister. That's right. Say Israel. Right? So now, right, I know this probably, well, Lord willing, I ain't even gonna say it, right? Go to Deuteronomy 22. Right?
You ready to
Y'all
go?
reservation?
Yeah. You ain't gonna make another.
Y'all gonna make another? Y'all might as well go make another one, then come back.
They don't do that long. It's only like 5 minutes.
Can I get out one commandment real quick then? One commandment real quick. All right, right. Go to the book of Deuteronomy. I mean, now you don't gotta go to Deuteronomy. Go to Leviticus.
That's why I asked you on Facebook, so I know when y'all are back out here.
Yeah, it's the y'all got.
But I want to know if y'all, when y'all back out here.
Y'all got Instagram or anything?
Yeah, but you guys are on Facebook too.
Yeah. But that's not. That's the headquarters basically.
Okay.
Right, because it's multiple groups
I
of
get
us.
that's why I asked about y'all when y'all was out here.
Right. That's so on that. Right. All praise. So on that flyer, right, it's an email. Right, if you hit the email, right, any questions you got, even if y'all just want to dialogue or y'all want to know where we gonna be at, right, hit the email and we'll respond right back to y'all and let y'all know. All right, so right, Leviticus chapter.
Like basically my plan was to get my money and all that kind of stuff together, and then I was going to figure out all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Why you gotta get your money first?
Because this takes a lot of research.
Why can't you research and get money?
I got like 4 businesses I'm running.
Don't brothers research and get money?
Right.
Don't we got jobs?
God.
Don't we got families?
Yeah, I run 4 businesses. I'm already looking for outsourcing on my business.
You can't put your businesses over the Most High God.
I didn't say beforehand. I'm talking about research and all that.
You just said you gonna get your money.
I said research to know all this stuff. Right now, follow the Bible.
How long is that gonna take?
Probably about another year.
You said what?
About another year.
About another year. So what if all hell break loose within that year?
In the meantime, I'm gonna follow what I know about the Lord. I've researched the Bible my whole life. I do know about the Bible. That's how I knew what his name was, even though you're saying another name. I do know the Bible. I do.
So you know who the Israelites are now?
Yeah, I do. I already knew it. You said the black people?
So-called black. Right. And what's required of the Israelites?
To follow the commandments and redo some other shit that they did. They gotta do some shit around.
Right. So are you following the commandments to the best of your ability?
I am.
I feel like you can do better, sister.
I probably could.
Right.
I don't know about no dress, but I don't think that dress means I'm covered up.
Nah, that's not being covered up, sister.
I'm covered up. That's what I feel like. That's what's gonna be.
But it's not about what we feel.
That's what between me and God. So it's gonna be that.
But you my sister.
I understand.
What if it was a card coming and you didn't see it, and I just was like, that's between her and God? That's messed up, ain't it?
No, you did your job, right?
No. I said no.
Your job is the one, right?
Right? No. I said, what if it was a car coming and I just said, well, that's been her.
I didn't say you didn't do that. You stopped me. You talked to me. You warned me.
Right, but I don't want you to just.
But you warned me.
I don't want you to throw it off though, sister.
I am not. I'm just saying.
So you gonna do research on it?
I will.
Diligently. I'm not talking. Well, of course.
If I do my research and I feel like I need to wear the dress, then I will. But I feel like
what's gonna get you to think that you need to wear a dress?
I don't know.
What you gonna research that, or what you gonna research that's gonna determine whether or not you gonna wear a dress?
Research on why, and the times what was going on, and the circumstances around why they told them to wear dresses.
You wanna know? You wanna know what started women wearing dresses? It was led by a lesbian woman.
Right.
And they wanted to wear the pants in a relationship, or not wear the pants in a relationship, wear World War II was going on, you understand? And all the men went out to war and the women had to go in the factories and work, they put on the pants, right? And she led the charge for that whole thing and fighting for women's rights. And now, that's why you got the saying, who wear the pants in this relationship, because it signifies masculinity. Right. It signifies who's in charge. You understand? So now when a woman is wearing that, guess what? Not even knowing that they moving in the spirit of trying to usurp authority over the man. Not saying that that's what you're doing with, I'm not saying that, but that's the general consensus of how our women think nowadays. And then they just heap the music, you understand, the social media and everything else, and it just enhances it. Now you got women that look down on the men, and the men look down on the women. You understand? So it's a whole thing behind that wasn't ordained by the Most High God. Our women, that's why when you see older pictures, you see our women always in what? Dresses. Modest apparel, you understand? Because that was our custom, that was our law. You understand? That's like a man wearing a dress. And he's saying, well, if to me, I don't feel like that. The scriptures say I can't wear a dress, so I'm gonna wear one. That's off.
Right.
They wearing dresses with kids.
What?
Men was wearing them little.
No, they didn't. No, they weren't. They had
Who was that though?
You know what breeches are? You know what breeches are?
I'll be funny.
So look, my point is, right, and Lord willing, you do research, but when you do it, don't do it as in like, I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna just see, right?
I wear dresses a lot. I just don't feel like.
So what's wrong with wearing them?
Nothing. I love dresses. You know, let me tell you this. I'll get more attention and it's more unmodest the way my shape is in a dress, because my booty be slapping everywhere. You're not wearing what I'm wearing.
Are you wearing pencil skirts, sister? Are you wearing pencil skirts?
It don't matter what.
When I say pencil skirts,
no, it don't have to be that. I can wear the ones that fit. It does not matter.
Look, a man is going to sexualize a woman regardless.
Right.
But that don't mean that you shouldn't be modest.
I'm just saying.
Because is it about what the man think of you, or is it about what the Most High God told us to do?
It's about what He told us to do.
Right. So
but,
it don't matter about.
Like I was saying, some stuff in the Bible.
You could be one of them. You could be one of them people that got the veil on, and all you can see is their eyes. Guess what? They still get sexualized.
Right.
So it don't matter. I mean, yeah, that's a point, as in like, okay, we're modest apparel, so can't nobody sexualize you. But the point is, it's because the God said that we got to, and our sisters got to, and a man can't wear a dress. But if I had a dress on up there,
God didn't tell us stuff. He didn't want us as robots. He wanted us to understand. He gives us.
He did give us the understanding.
Right, he wants us to understand the reason and you know, think like him, and you know what I'm saying, like come up with the conclusions as he would and form those decisions as he would. That's why he gave us the whole Bible, so we can understand how he thinks.
Go to the book of Romans.
Is that right?
Go to the book of Romans. We'll not.
So then he give us the Bible so we'll understand, so we can be more like him.
Yes.
So, with that being said, for me reading the Bible,
God be disobedient.
How is he disobedient?
I said, would he?
No, he would not.
No, right. So if you just said out of your own mouth, he gave us this Bible so that we can be more like him.
And understand.
Right.
And so some stories, sometimes.
Shouldn't we do what the Lord told us to do?
You had a story back
Shouldn't we do what the Lord told us to do?
Yes, you should. But
right. So
what my
dress?
I never said nothing wrong with wearing a dress. What I'm saying is.
You said it don't feel right to me.
No, I'm saying that I feel like back in the day, he ordered people to wear dresses because of the circumstances and what was going on around then.
What was going on around them to where he made them wear dresses?
Back then, well, I don't know. I wasn't there.
Exactly. That's why you shoot from the hip, sister.
That's why I said I was going to do my research.
But sister, you're not gonna find nothing to where it validates why they did it back then and why we don't gotta do it now.
It could have been a whole lot of stuff going on back then. I don't know what was going on.
Come on, sister. You gotta put a dress on. Did you go to prom?
No.
Have you ever went to a formal event?
Yes.
And you had a dress on?
Yes.
Right? And you felt good about yourself. Or any other time you wear a dress. Right?
They cool.
Sister, you just said you like wearing dresses. Now they cool. Come on, sister.
Clothed with strange apparel.
Right? So the Lord said he's going to punish people with strange apparel. You understand? Right? Spiritually, right? And that could be applied, right, as physically as well. Because if a man, right, what's your name, bro? Kenneth, right? If Kenneth came, y'all well, you ain't got to say all that, right? If Kenneth came to you and he had a dress on, right? Pencil skirt.
Man.
Right? Man, what? Exactly. You see that same reaction you just gave, right? That's how it is when we see our sisters and not wearing dresses. It's like,
right.
Come on, sister. You feel me?
You woke.
So how come a man, we gotta wear pants, but a woman can wear whatever she wants?
Right.
So the times are different.
No, sister. Nothing in human history validates that. Right? If you got to, sister, right, you'll feel better, you'll feel good, you'll feel like a princess, you feel like a queen, you understand? Because you understand, it be sisters twerking on top of cars, blasting music, calling themselves queens.
No.
But are they conducting themselves like a king, a queen?
No, look at my face.
Nah, you don't gotta show me, you don't gotta show me no nothing, it's all good, right? My whole point is, right, my whole point is, you understand, you gotta conduct yourself as a daughter of the Most High God. Right? Bring this up.
No, I was just gonna say that we have all of our wives up here and they wear dresses out.
Right.
I'm saying they can wear what they want at home as long as it's
Bring this out in the book of Deuteronomy 22. Bring this out in the book of Deuteronomy 22.
You can't cross the line. They got
Deuteronomy
in the house,
22.
night dress.
22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that was pertaining to a man.
Get on it, brother. Get on it, brother. Read it again.
The woman shall...
Satan
He's trying to convince you wear a dress all day. His wife was not wearing a dress at home at night.
Believe in the Bible.
The Lord was watching. The Lord was watching his wife.
Say it again, brother.
What?
If you believe in the Bible, that's what the Bible says.
That's what
But that's the
Unless you don't
thing.
believe in the Bible.
I believe in the Bible.
hey.
However, I
Deuteronomy
believe
22 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth to a man.
Right.
Neither
Hey, what
shall
to
a
man?
man put on a woman's garment.
Right, so a man can't put on a woman's garment, but neither can a woman put on a man's garment.
Right.
You understand?
I want a man's
So
garment. Men don't wear it. You want to wear it? I'm about to give it to them.
men do wear them. They do actually.
Hold on. It's all good. It's all good.
I was about to say actually
She
do wear
just
them.
scoffed. So look.
So if I put on booty shorts, that's not for men.
So look, listen, sister. At the end of the day, I know you, well, Lord willing, I know, you feel me, you love God. You understand? You love the Most High God.
The real one.
Right, Most High God. Yahweh. You understand? Go to the book of,
Women wear. Men don't wear.
go to
I
the
can't
book
wear
of,
basketball shorts. That's for
1 Samuel
men.
chapter 2 and verse
Maybe
3.
you see, I understand. It's about your interpretation. I could interpret that as women not want to look managed, stud. Like, as long as you're still looking womanly.
Verse 23.
That's what I'm saying.
1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 3. It's only one understanding of the scriptures.
The book.
It didn't say you had to wear a dress. It said you had to wear not clothes.
It was common knowledge back then that a dress was for a woman.
Back then. There we go.
Even now, it's still the case.
No, it's not. It's
Book
not
of
the same anymore.
Samuel 2 and verse 3.
Bring it out.
Look, hold on. It's 2023, right? Hold on, it's 2023, right? Listen. It's 2023 now, right, sister? What's your name one more time?
Rachel.
Right? It's 2023, right? If you go and take a flight to the eastern part of the world, what them sisters over there gonna be wearing?
That's over there.
It's 2023 though.
That's over there.
Guess what? You've been indoctrinated.
Okay.
Hold on, listen.
Normal over there.
Listen, sister. You've been indoctrinated by these people.
I was raised that you're not even supposed to wear a beard.
Listen.
I was raised you're not supposed to have a beard. You ain't supposed to have a beard though. That's our best
Sister, you're not listening. The Bible tell you gotta have a beard.
Right.
Listen, you've been indoctrinated.
Clean and stuff. And over here,
Go to the book of Leviticus chapter 19 and 26.
over here.
Hold on, no, it's not about. Our
Our
forefathers is all over the earth keeping the commandments still. Bring this up.
The book of Leviticus 19 and verse 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your head.
Hold on, what God say?
Ye shall not round the corners of your head.
Kenneth, what did the Most High God just say? Read it again.
Ye shall not round the corners of your head.
It said, ye shall not round the corners of your head, meaning you can't purposely make yourself bald. Read.
Neither shall thou mar the corners of thy beard.
Mar means to destroy, so you can't shave your beard off.
At all.
So the Lord commanded us that we had to wear beards. You just said.
I said you're not supposed to have all that. Supposed to be clean shaven.
You know what you were saying.
You're supposed to have clean shaven. You're supposed to be clothed. Supposed to be nice and
No, if that's the case, that means Aaron went off because Aaron had a beard down to the foot.
Good.
That was back
Like
then.
now, like I said.
These days,
now, like
we don't
I-
do that. That's why things have to evolve in what we're doing now.
Look, these
If somebody
days,
had
watch
that
this.
down to their foot, that
Hold on,
was
watch
crazy,
this.
right?
Watch this.
Now,
Watch this. Hold on. Watch this, brother. Hey, these
You had yours
days,
down there,
they
you
tell
know,
you that it's okay to be a pedophile, right?
No.
They do tell you that. They about to pass a law for it.
Right.
They literally about to pass a law for it. Over there in Greece right now, it's legal to marry a minor. Right now.
In the day, in the Bible time, they was having sex with 14-year-olds.
Where's that? You gotta
They was getting pregnant. They was
prove it.
having kids.
No, you
back
gotta
then.
prove
They
it.
was doing
You
that
gotta prove it,
shit.
sister.
They was.
You gotta prove it.
I don't have my Bible
Because they're not in the Bible.
That's why.
Nowhere in the Bible do it say nothing about
I gotta find it. I don't have it memorized
having
no
kids,
more.
sister. At the end of the day, I know you understand all these things. I know you just, you feel me? But at the end of the day, right, you God's chosen people, you are what?
God's child.
Right, and who are God's children?
What do you mean?
Who are God's children?
You all God's children.
You sure? Is that what the Bible says?
He said that some of these white people ain't God's kids.
I don't know. Let's see what the Bible says. It ain't about what I
They
think.
ain't God's kids.
It ain't about what I think, right? Go to the book of Romans chapter.
So
Go
where
to
it
the
come
book of
from?
Romans chapter. Hold on. Let me answer the first question first.
I've been wanting to know stuff.
All praises, and that's beautiful.
But
A lot of our
you
people
already
need to seek
You don't
that,
really want to know that.
right? You might as well wait about 10 more minutes or 5 more minutes, right? We're gonna answer this and then you can go, all right? Right? Start at verse 7.
Romans 9 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
Neither because they are the seed of Abraham
So Paul is telling you just because you come from the seed of Abraham, read,
are they all children.
meaning just because you come from Abraham don't make you a child of God.
Right.
And guess what? Abraham didn't populate the whole earth. You got nations that don't come from Abraham.
Right.
So, and Paul went even in more detail and said, just because you come from Abraham don't make you a child of God either. But read.
But in Isaac
But in Isaac, because the seed line goes Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, read.
shall thy seed be called.
Read.
That is, they which are the children of the flesh,
Of the flesh, read.
these are not the children of God.
So what?
These are not the children of God.
When you don't come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or in other words, if you're not an Israelite, you're not a child of God.
That's right.
Right? That's what Paul, who everybody loves, said.
Where they come from?
You said what?
So he just made people that wasn't his kids?
Yeah.
They were just extras.
Yeah. Low key in the spirit. Bring it up.
Amos chapter 3 from the top.
Bring it out.
Hear these words that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel,
Right.
against the whole family which I have brought up out of the land of Egypt, saying, You only have I known.
What?
You only have I known
Read.
of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Right, so the Lord said he only knew us. Meaning what? He only has a relationship with the children of Israel.
Right.
Right? These things weren't given to the other nations. You understand? They didn't have the right to be able to have these signs and these wonders happen for us. Or I mean, it's like it happened for them, but they happen for us. Why? Because he's our God. The Lord only respects the children of Israel.
Right.
Give me that in the book of Exodus chapter 2 in the last verse.
The book of Exodus.
Second to last verse.
The book of Exodus 2 and verse 24.
Bring it out.
And God heard their groaning,
Talking about us when we was in slavery and captivity. The God heard our groaning, read.
and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob.
Not with the whole world.
And with Jacob.
Right? It said with Jacob, with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, read.
And God looked upon the children of Israel.
It said he looked upon the children of Israel, read.
And the Most High
Hold
God.
on real quick. It's a known fact that the Israelites weren't the only people who were slaves in Egypt. Yet, he the only ones who cries they heard. Or he heard. He only heard the cries of the Israelites. Why? Read.
The children of Israel. And God had respect.
Have what?
Had respect
Read.
to them.
See that? So the Lord God respects the children of Israel, not the other nations. Why does he? Because he made a covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, with Jacob. Right? Give me that in the book of Sirach chapter 44 and 19. Right? Sirach chapter 44 and 19.
Sirach chapter 44 in verse 19.
Bring it out.
Abraham was a great father of many people. In glory was there none like unto him.
Who would start with? Yeah, that's right. 19. You right.
Let me keep going, or just start over.
Start over. So like,
Abraham was a great father of many people.
Right.
In glory was there none like unto him.
So multiple nations come from Abraham. But read.
Who kept the law of who kept the law of the Most High.
Right.
And was in the covenant with him. He established the covenant.
Right. Do y'all know what a covenant is? A covenant is an agreement, like a contract. Right. So he made a covenant with Abraham. Read.
In his flesh. And when he was proved, he was found faithful.
Read.
Therefore, he assured him by an oath that he would bless the nations in his seed.
Read.
And that he would multiply him as dust of the earth.
Read. And all throughout the scriptures, the only nation that's referenced in being multiplied as the stars of heaven or as the dust of the earth are the Israelites.
Right.
Read.
And exalt his seed as the stars.
Right. Give me that in the book of Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 22. Read.
And cause them to inherit from sea to sea. And from the river unto the utmost part of the land.
Right. That lot was given to the children of Israel. Read.
With Isaac did he establish likewise.
It said with Isaac did he establish likewise, meaning the same covenant was made with Isaac. Read. But Abraham had two sons though. Well, he had more than that. He had multiple sons, but the main two was Isaac and Ishmael. But the Lord chose Isaac for his covenant. Right. Read.
Otherwise, for Abraham, his father's sake,
right,
the blessing of all men and the covenant, and made it rest upon the head of Jacob.
So it went from Abraham, Isaac, and it rested on the head of Jacob, whose name got changed to Israel. Read.
He acknowledged him in his blessing,
right,
and gave him inheritance.
You read about that in the book of Genesis chapter 28. Read.
And divided his portions among this 12 tribes.
Salakia, read that again.
Salakia. His portion among the 12 tribes did he part them.
Right, so among the 12 tribes, right, of Israel, right, did he part his inheritance and the covenant. So it went from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and then to the 12 tribes of Israel, which are the children of Jacob. So all these things, the glory, the covenants, you understand, the kingdom of heaven, all these things pertain and only are for the Israelites, right? It tell you the same exact thing even in the New Testament, right? Give me that in the book of Romans chapter 9, and start at verse 3.
Book of Romans chapter 9 and verse number 3.
Read out.
For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren,
right,
my kinsmen according to the flesh.
And what was Paul? Paul was an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. Right. So he's talking about his people, the Israelites. You literally read about that same thing in the next chapter, the top of 10, right? Read.
Who are Israelites?
Who are Israelites? So he's telling you who the audience is. Read.
To whom pertaineth the adoption?
The adoption, people be like, oh, the other nations, they can be adopted to the Lord. No, the adoption pertains only to the Israelites who fell away from the Most High God.
Right.
They're the ones that can be adopted back. Read.
So like the adoption and the glory and the covenants.
Right, slide. Read it again. Read it slowly.
The adoption and the glory.
Right, the glory. You understand the glory of being high above all the nations, that only pertains to the Israelites. You understand the glory of being able to be transformed into an immortal body, it's only for the Israelites. You understand, like you read about in the book of 1 Corinthians, I believe that's 15 or 14 maybe, right? Read on.
And the covenants.
The covenants, all the covenants that was ever made with the Most High God, you understand, they pertain to the Israelites.
Right.
You understand, and what's contained in those covenants? The kingdom of heaven, right? Ruling over the nations, you understand, and many other things. Those pertain to the Israelites. Read.
And the giving of the law.
The law was only given to the children of Israel. In the wilderness, the other nations wasn't there, right? Moses gave the law to the Israelites, right? Not to the other nations. So the law is only pertaining to the Israelites. Read.
And the service of Yahweh,
right? And
the promises.
And the promises. So all the promises you read about in the scripture, you understand, are for and to the Israelites.
That's right.
And pertaining to the Israelites. So this whole notion about everybody is a child of God, that's not true according to the Bible. Whether you go to the New Testament or whether you go to the Old Testament. Right? That's not a biblical account. They people are the ones that taught that doctrine. Why? Because they stole our book. This is literally a historical record book. that why you think you can literally read about entire genealogies of men? Because it's literally a genealogy and a historical book and a record book about the Israelites, right? How all of a sudden did it become for the whole world? That's not the case, and that's not true, right? Go to the book of what I call Isaiah chapter 10 and 22.
Isaiah 10 and verse 22. For those thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea.
As the what?
As the sand of the sea.
It says, though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, read.
Yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness.
You see that? It said, yet a remnant of them shall return. Those are the ones that's being adopted back to the Most High God. Not to mention, it said as the sand of the sea, right? Meaning what? We're innumerable, right? The same thing that we read earlier when the Lord described us as the dust of the earth, right? Go to the book of Deuteronomy. Chapter, actually, right? We hear it. I know y'all get ready to go, right? Go to the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, 13, right? Go to the book of 1 Samuel. Go to the book of 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 3.
Yes,
Right, these are the last two scriptures for y'all, right? Right, I did my job, right? Right, y'all not gonna profane the Shabbat.
Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 13.
Bring it out.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Right?
Fear God.
What?
Fear God.
Right?
And keep His commandments. For this is the whole duty of man.
So the whole duty of man is for us to keep the commandments in these last days. As what? As what? As right. As Israelites, right? Bring this up.
1 Samuel, mighty prophet, chapter 2 and verse 3.
Bring it on.
Talk no more exceedingly proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth.
Right, because you can fool men, but you can't fool the Most High God.
Right.
You can get your way around stuff with men and women, but you can't get yourself around or kind of slide in with the Most High God. Right, read.
For the Lord is a God of knowledge.
What he said is what he said, and how he gonna be is how he gonna be, read.
And by him,
By who?
and by him,
Read.
actions are weighed.
The Lord said actions are weighed, man. You understand? So the Lord goes off of your actions, and obviously we understand that it goes along with what your heart is as well. Right? So it's not just, oh, my heart, I love the Lord in my heart, or I do this, or I say this. Nah, you got to put action in it too. Because guess what? If you tell her you love her, you understand, or you care about her, and then as soon as she wake up in the morning, you punch her in the lip, right? Is that love? No, that's not love.
At all.
You understand? So you show love through your actions. Love is a verb, man, right? So when you show the Most High God that you love Him, you do it through your actions, right? And how do you do that? By keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, and having faith on who the world calls Jesus Christ.
That's right.
You understand? So with that, what's your nationality before y'all leave? He already said it. He said it's your turn now.
I know mine already now. So.
Ooh, say it again, brother.
An Israelite.
That's right. That's right, man. Hey, the first thing he said, I know mine. He said, I learned mine already now. He said, I know it. All praises. All praise to the Most High, right? So y'all guys, so people be safe, all right? All praise to the Most High. And hit the email up.
Yeah.
Hit the email up.
Brother Kenneth and Rachel off the scene.
God, all praise to the Most High, man.
With ship.
With what?
With ship.
With what?
With ship.
How did we get to America? On ships, right? So did everybody on the earth go into slavery on ships? Who went into slavery on ships, brother? That's right.
Crazy.
For yourself, know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall coming as a thief in the night.
What?
As a thief in the night.
Thief in the night.
Right.
The Lord is gonna come as a thief in the night, man. Nobody knows when the Lord is gonna come back, man. Right. Nobody knows, man.
This the book of wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. For wisdom is more moving than any motion.
Right? The wisdom of the Lord, man, right? And the wisdom of life is more moving than any emotion, man, right? And that's what the Lord has given us to speak to our people, man, right? And that thing is gonna move you more than anything, man, right? It's gonna move you more than damn weed, right? It's gonna move you more than that damn Hennessy bottle, right? It's gonna sit there and move you more than damn Keisha, Letitia, right? And all these damn heathenistic woman, man.
Right.
Oh, you're going crazy.